What's going on, everybody? John Eric Poli here with my MMA news, and today I just want to take a closer look at this weekend's co-main event, Anthony Smith taking on Johnny Walker. I am really excited for this matchup. I really feel like this should have been the main event. I know the UFC likes to put the heavier weight classes in the main event, hence why we have a heavyweight main event as opposed to this light heavyweight co-main event, but either way, this is a fantastic fight that I just feel like taking a little bit of a deeper look in here with all of you guys here today. So one of the reasons why it's exciting is just their positioning within the UFC light heavyweight division. They come into this fight ranked 5th and 7th respectively. Smith, the 5th ranked contender, Walker, the 7th ranked contender. Also, this is a big one because both guys, they're trying to get themselves back into title contention, and this is really a fight that's going to do that because obviously the winner of this fight should be expecting something bigger and better here down the road. We'll get into more of that in just a second here. But one of the other things compelling about this matchup is just the stretch that these two have been on. So let's actually take a look at the Tapology reports here for both of these fighters. We'll start with Anthony Smith. We'll get that pulled up onto your screen now here. And as you can see, Smith victories in 3 of his last 4 fights. He has wins over Devin Clark, Jimmy Crute, and Ryan Spann. He had a loss in his last fight to Magomed Ankalaev, and let's be honest with each other here, guys. That's really not that bad of a loss. I know he was stopped, I believe, second round there, it says. Obviously, we know he was finished there, but we can make the case that Ankalaev really could be the champion right now. Of course, if we remember back at UFC 282, back in December of 2022, right before the new year, Jan Blachowicz and Ankalaev, they fought in the main event for the vacant title at that time, and, everybody thought Ankalaev had won. Surprise, it was scored a draw, so obviously nobody got the belt that night. UFC president Dana White wasn't happy. That's why he decided to let Jamal Hill and Glover Teixeira fight at the next pay-per-view, UFC 283, for the still vacant title at that time, but still everybody that night, or just about everybody that night, thought Ankalaev had won. So there's a big case that Smith's only loss in his last 4 outings really could be to the champion right now. All right, with that being said, now though, let's take a look at Walker's Tapology here as well. So that's up on the screen now. So I want to focus here mainly since 2022. Obviously, anybody following Johnny Walker's career, we know how that started. He was pegged as a future champion for sure. Everybody liked the look, the height, the reach, all of that. Then he got himself in that little tough stretch where he lost 4 out of 5. But focusing since 2022, only loss, and it was a viral knockout loss, if you guys remember, but that only loss was to current champion Jamal Hill. Just like Smith, not a bad loss on there. Then obviously back-to-back wins for Walker, but not only back-to-back wins, but 2 straight finishes in different ways. There's a submission, and then of course we obviously remember how we started off the year at UFC 283, that knockout win over Paul Craig. Massive knockout in the fight. Walker looked fantastic in that one. So obviously both these guys seem to have found a little bit of a comeback here. Both, like I said, on great stretches. And now to that title contention thing that I was talking about before. Like I said, 5 versus 7. Winner definitely getting somebody within the top 5. And we know how that works, guys. Once you get in the top 5, you could have one great out and get yourself a title fight. Max probably 2 fights away from it. Both of these guys are chasing down a title opportunity. Smith's fought for it once. Walker's looking for his first one. Like I said, win here, definitely in the driver's seat for something big here. And in fact, I spoke to Johnny Walker earlier this week on Monday from his hotel room in Charlotte, and here's what he had to say about this matchup and kind of where he's at within the division. So let's take a look at that answer here.
Yeah, I think it's time for me, I'm on this race for a long time. I get close to the belt and title shot a few times already. I was on the way, then I stepped back. Now is the 3rd time that I'm on the way again, get a top 5 guys. So I'm learning a lot for the last few years, and I'm happy to have a high level guy to fight. So it's gonna just show that I'm ready for next step, and he's a high level fighter, and I can't wait to test myself and show everybody which level I am.
So yeah, I think Walker kind of summed that up kind of perfectly there, and I'm curious to see what Smith says about it. I'm sure he's going to be asked about it throughout the week. I know as I'm posting this video here Wednesday, that's what media day is. So we're going to hear from Walker at some point today. I'm sure he'll have. I'm going to guess a similar take on it here. So I guess anyway, with that being said, we know what's on the line here. We know it's a great fight. Let's take a little look at the tail of the tape here, kind of figuring out if that could give us some inkling as to who's going to win here. So Walker, age is on his side. He's 3 years younger. He has a 2 to 3 inch reach, or a 2 or 3 inch advantage here, depending on where you look. I know the one on your screen here is saying 6'5", but the majority of places have Walker listed as 6'6", so definitely a size advantage there. The reach advantage is the big one, though. Walker has a 6-inch reach advantage, but here's the one thing, though, that's not in the tail of the tape that I think is in Walker's favor, and it's one of the things that I spoke with him earlier in the week here, and it's one of the things that he said has led to this stretch that he's been on where he's looked great in his last 2 outings, is that he feels like he's now really becoming a complete fighter. We saw a submission win on there. We saw a knockout win on there, and he credits that to the training at SBG Ireland. He feels like it's finally come full circle. He's been at the gym long enough. He's so comfortable with his coaches. He just has never felt better ever inside of the cage. He credits that all to the training out there. We know that SBG Ireland, fantastic gym out there, produce a lot of high-level talent guys. Obviously, we know Conor McGregor, of course, the biggest one out of that gym, but still, Walker feels very comfortable with the training there, and not only that, but taking a look at his personal life as well. He just recently got married. I asked him about that as well. He's so happy. And sometimes, when your personal life's going great, your work life's going great, puts you in a fantastic spot mentally. I just feel like all that is on Walker's side. So that's kind of the reason why I like him here, just because of those reasons there. He's looked so great. He feels so comfortable. Just kind of seems like, everything seems to be going right for him. That's why I'm leaning with him there. But I know the odds makers have this one pretty close. I believe, let's see here, DraftKings, FanDuel, and Unibet. It's a Pennsylvania casino. I'm in Pennsylvania, so I looked there as well. Those three, they have this one as a pick'em fight, but sportsbetting.ag, they actually have Walker as a slight betting favorite. I did speak briefly with a UFC and MMA handicapper. Not sure if they want their name mentioned or not mentioned, or who they work with mentioned or anything. So not gonna say any of that. But they also kind of gave me the little nod there, saying, hey, I think Walker gets this one done. So anyway, I feel I agree with all those statements there. Like I said, I just feel like everything's going right for Walker at the moment. That's my thoughts, but it's going to be a great fight. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be a great weekend of fights. Can't wait for UFC Charlotte. Let me know what you guys think, though. I'm always curious to see what the fans think out there. Do you guys agree? You think Johnny Walker gets the job done here? Or do you guys think Anthony Smith's going to get the win and work closer to a second title fight here?